Hi there guys, Jack here, and today I wanted to talk. So if you know a lot of anime, you've probably heard of School Days. So School Days follows a high schooler called Makoto, and essentially revolves around his love life with two primary girls, Sekai and Kutohono. One of the good things about this anime was that it was quite exciting, like things like always seemed to be moving forward, like something, whether it was good or bad, it did keep you interested. So like I said earlier, it follows character Makoto and his relationship with two other girls, Sekai and Kutohono. Quite liked the plot actually. I mean, it deals with him cheating on one of the girls, and I thought that it handled that quite effectively. Apart from maybe the ending, but I'll get onto that later. Yeah, the ending is quite infamous, but I'll talk about that later. So yeah, I quite liked the plot. It was effective, it dealt with all the characters quite well. I'm not going to give too much away, but Makoto does cheat on one of the girls, and just thought it handled that quite effectively. Although the plot's simple, it's to the point and effective, and it's quite easy to watch. Yeah, so plot's quite good, not perfect, like there are a few things wrong, like character development in the plot could have been better, but it's not terrible, certainly. It's quite, I'd say it's above average. The characters in the anime are kind of hit or miss, as some are good, some are terrible. We have three main characters: Makoto, Sekai and Kutohono. I think that's how you pronounce the name. The worst is probably Makoto. He's extremely unlikable, like, because he does cheat on one of the girls. Not giving too much away here. He's just a really unlikable character. I guess he is quite realistic, a realistic portrayal of a teenage character. But like I said, he's really unlikable. Sekai is probably the best character in the anime. I actually preferred her over Kutohono, because Sekai actually felt like she was her own character, as opposed to Kutohono, which she just felt a bit generic, like as though she was just a satellite to Makoto, the main character. So, like, Kutohono's not a terrible character, she's likeable enough, but she doesn't really do much in the anime, and she does turn a bit nasty at the end. But yeah, she's just a bit generic for me, really. There are some side characters, but they're pretty much on the same level. They're good, but not great. We have Makoto's friend. Can't pronounce his name for the life of me. We have Setsuna, which is like kind of a sort of childhood friend, like not really like a friend of Makoto. So yeah, the side characters aren't really worth talking about. They're good, but not great. Yeah, so like I said earlier, character development in this is kind of hit or miss. The way the female protagonists deal with Makoto is handled quite well, effectively, but a lot of the side characters just, like, they're not really important, they just seem to fade into the background a bit. So character development is not terrible. I've seen worse, I've seen better in animes. Like, I'd say it's about average, really. And the animation is pretty generic, run-of-the-mill, to be honest. It looks alright, but it's a bit limited, and it's not really as fluid as it could be. Yeah, it's alright, it's nothing to write home about. I've seen better, I've seen worse. I don't really know what to say about it, really. Another thing about the animation is that some of the character models do look a tad similar. Like Sekai and Kutohono did look quite sort of similar at the beginning. You do get used to it, and you can differentiate. They do have different hair colours, but yeah, a lot of the character models do have kind of similar facial features. But again, once you start watching, it is easy to see who is who. So yeah. The sound in this is actually nicely well done. There's I liked the opening theme and the ending themes, and there's quite a lot of well done, just generic background music. It's not like perfect, but it's all around, it's quite well done, I'd say, for an anime, especially considering it probably had a low budget. One thing I wanted to talk about for School Days was the really infamous ending. I'm not going to spoil too much, but let's just say a character gets stabbed. Okay, it's Makoto that gets stabbed. You've probably heard about the ending already, but Makoto cheats on Kotono with Sekai, but then he makes up with Kotono, and then Sekai stabs Makoto. So yeah, and then Sekai gets killed as well. So the ending's probably like, I really didn't like the ending. It's one of the worst endings I've ever seen in an anime, because I just think it was a bit of an overkill, really, like a cheap shock tactic. It's like, just get two of the main characters killed. And this anime would have been slightly better if it wasn't for the really bad ending. But yeah, you've probably heard about it already if you like anime quite a lot, because it is quite an infamous ending. So overall, this is a pretty sort of standard, average, generic anime. It is a bit like shocking slightly, mainly due to the ending, and also because he is cheating on one of the characters. Enjoyment I got out of this, hard to say really. I mean, there were bits of the anime that were enjoyable, but it just kind of got hampered by an unlikable protagonist, Makoto. So yeah.